Good evening. It's January 30th. I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee. I've been staying here since Saturday, and I've really been enjoying myself. It's been a nice break from the trail. I had a good time in Damascus. Got to hang out with Crazy Larry. That was a beautiful podcast. Please watch it. My friend Happy Travels picked me up at Watauga Lake. That's a beautiful lake. I'd love to come back and fish that thing. It's just gorgeous. It's a lake, large lake surrounded by mountains, has a nice marina, and I got to hike over the dam. Right now I'm at O'Charlie's. It's a chain restaurant. It's really good. It kind of reminds me of Cheddar's. It's a good cut above Chili's or Applebee's, and they have good beer, and they have, every dinner I've had has been great here, so I keep coming back, and I thought it would be a nice place to do the podcast. I have run into some trouble in the last few days, but first I'd like to talk about the veterans that I met at Applebee's and explain. Johnson City, Tennessee is a hub for the VA. They have a very good Veterans Administration here in Tennessee, and so a lot of the veterans come from other states to come here to get things done. I met a Navy SEAL named Jason and an Army Ranger. Damn it, what was his name? Brent, I believe. I know we're on Facebook. I apologize if I butchered you guys' names, but I had a real good talk with them. Something I never had heard of. Jason had what he was calling an artificial spine. He has electrodes implanted into his back, and through his cell phone, his smartphone, he's now able to move his arms. And without that, he basically becomes crippled. He was telling me the other night his cell phone was going down, and it was a really rough time. It's the first time that had happened, but we shared a beer, and we just had a really good time. I just love hanging out with vets for some reason. I don't know why. We kind of shared some similarities about life on the trail and life in combat. I think both of us roll sort of in a flow state. We really enjoy what we do. Combat's not a fun thing, but those guys who are Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, they're into it. That's what they're born to do. So we had a good talk about that. My trouble, though, has been bed bugs, and I think I picked them up in either Atkins in this nasty motel. So advice for you nobos: do not stay at the Relax Inn. There's nothing relaxing about the place. It was a true shithole, filthy, and I think that may have been where I picked it up, because the locals told me they're known for bed bugs. And just the service there was awful. The room next door had a smoke detector that was doing that chirp when the battery runs out. And so I called them and asked them, hey, can you come down here and replace the battery? And they said, oh, we can't do that tonight. How hard is it to get a damn new 9-volt? And if you don't have one, just rip the damn thing off the wall. So I wasn't pleased there. Now, in Marion, there's the Travel Inn, and it could have been there also. And I know that's a very popular place for hikers to go. I did notice I was the only person in that entire motel. So that tells me something's not right. So I recommend going across the street. I don't remember what it was, but you had to pay $5 or $10 more, and you had a real motel room. And so just be careful when you guys get to that area of Virginia. So what I want to talk about is if you guys do run into that, because We travel on the trail, and people who travel go to motels a lot. And evidently right now we have a bed bug epidemic that's been going on for several years in this country. And it doesn't necessarily mean a filthy motel. You know, you could be in the Ritz-Carlton and get bed bugs, because these things are relatively contagious from room to room. The difference is the better hotels take care of the issue. They're not that hard to kill. So I looked up online what to do, and the best source I found was the Texas A&M, and they're linked up with the what is it? AgriLife Extension Agency. That's the agricultural extension agency in Texas, and I've worked with them in the past with my farming stuff that I used to do. They're great, and they had a very good article. So the first thing you do, well, let's talk about prevention. They like to hang around the bed, they like to hang around the mattress, and they hang around where the seams of the mattress are on the side. So you can check a bed by looking to see if there's eggs, or you can look online and see what it looks like. You can see the eggs, you can see the fecal matter, and sometimes you can see the bed bugs herself, and they hide up under the bed. They also hide behind where the headboard is, and sometimes behind like a picture over the bed, but they're usually close to the bed, and they're attracted to your body heat. So one thing is look out for that stuff. The other thing is, don't set your luggage, don't set your pack next to the bed or on the bed. Set that on the luggage rack, or set that like up on the counter of the sink or something where those bugs aren't going to be. Also, they rarely go into the bathroom. So if you have a damp sleeping bag, hang it on the curtain rack in the shower, and you have a less chance of picking these things up. Now, I don't know if my clothes actually did. What I found is some bites on my arm. They like to hit up your arms. They like to hit up your legs and feet for some reason. And you can tell it's bed bugs because they'll have bites that are in a linear form. I have 4 bites that go straight up in a line. Sometimes they'll do a zigzag shape. And the problem with bed bugs is you don't notice those bites till several days later. That's why I can't identify which motel it was. But I looked up on the internet and figured out what it was, and then so what you do is you take the clothes, you take them to the laundry, you go on high heat for at least 30 minutes, and then you go high heat in the dryer for at least 30 minutes. The problem with this is materials like this melt, or they don't melt, they shrivel up, and my puff jacket turned into the size of something a first grader would wear. So I lost quite a bit of money in clothes, and I had to get some new hiking clothes. That doesn't make me happy, but I only have a month left, so I figure, well, if I take really good care of this stuff, maybe I'll have a good puffy for several years to come. Because your clothes are darn near done at the end of a through hike, just from wearing every day and just the stress you put upon them. So you wash your clothes immediately. You put everything else in a trash bag. That way it doesn't spread through the new motel room or the new hostel that you're in. And so I called Z-Packs. That's the maker of my sleeping bag, because I was concerned, being Cuban fiber and the high-tech stuff, what to do. I actually talked to the owner and founder of Z-Packs over the telephone, and he truly did not know. So they're interested in what has happened to me. So I'm going to get with Z-Packs and educate them on this, just as I am you guys. What I did is I found an exterminator really close to my motel. I walked in there and I said, all right, guys, what do we do here? I have you know, I don't want to put high heat on this. I don't want to have a wash on it. This backpack's very expensive. I don't want to mess it up. So what they did is they said, come by at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I did. And they put it in a back room. Put my backpack. They put my sleeping bag and my sleeping pad out on the floor with some Visqueen under it. And they blew off basically not necessarily a bomb, but a spray. And this stuff is so powerful. He said, I'm going to wait till my boys get out of here and go on their runs. And then when everybody's gone, I'm going to just blast this room. And the chemical he used is Bedlam Plus. There's a Bedlam and a Bedlam Plus. They highly recommend the Bedlam Plus. And now that it's been used on my things, and I did come out successful with it, is the Bedlam Plus is highly toxic when you spray it, but once it dries, it's rather inert, and it continues to stay on what you put it on. So it's almost like I forget that chemical. The stuff you put on your shoes and stuff for the ticks, paramethrin or whatever that stuff is. So if I did encounter any bed bugs, it's going to kill them a few days. I think he said it lasts a few weeks, really. So that's good news. It has no odor now. My stuff is totally dried out, and everything is dandy, to tell you the truth. Now, I washed my stuff twice, and all that gear with the Bedlam Plus, I feel like I'm good to go now. So that makes me very happy. I haven't had any more bites other than the few that I had right in this area. So I think we're taken care of. And I just want to let you guys know, just in case this happened, it's pretty stressful. It's not a big deal, but at the time it can be a big thing. And to get this Bedlam Plus, you have to go. It's regulated. It's not like you can just. I don't think you can go down to. I think you have to have a license to sell it, basically. So you got to find an exterminator. But I'm so far highly satisfied, and I just want to let you guys know about that. I've been hanging out a lot at Yeehaw Brewery. I went to trivia night the other night, and I've had a blast. I've been drinking some really good beer here, that's for sure. I really love this town. Johnson City's just a cool place, and I don't know. It's sort of my little hometown on the trail, I suppose. Jersey Tom called me up, so Tom, if you're watching this, I got to show you the Solomons that you're asking about. This is the one you want. So go down to REI and find the one that looks like this. And Tom's been having some plantar fasciitis issues, so he's looking for a better shoe. And so he called me and asked me what shoe I had, because I love this shoe. It's not just been great on the trail, it's the most comfortable shoe I've ever owned, period. So I'm a big fan of it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to fit Tom's foot right, but, you know, fits mine perfect. Okay, so you guys, wait, I think I have a message here. Let's see what's going on. No, maybe not. Well, you guys take care, and I'll get back with you. I'm going to try to get into Kincora and maybe do an interview with Bob Peoples, sort of a trail legend. He does a lot of the maintenance and work on the trail, and has been doing it for years, and has a hostel called Kincora. We'll see about that. It all depends on the weather. I called and no one answered. But we'll definitely do something maybe when we get up on Roan or the other side. And the weather forecast is looking good for 2 days, but then it's supposed to get nasty. So we'll see how Roan Mountain goes. All right, you guys take care and get out there. And even though it's cold, look, I'm outside drinking a beer. It's not that bad. Get out there and hike.